Look at your dog for a second. It eats, it sleeps, it loses its mind when you grab the leash. It clearly feels things. But here's a question that will quietly break your brain. Does your dog know that it's a someone? Does it know it exists at all? Not just react to the world, but actually sit there on some level and go, that's me, I'm here, I'm alive. It sounds obvious until you try to prove it. And when scientists tried, they found something way stranger than anyone expected. Because there are actually two very different things going on here, and we mix them up constantly. The first is being conscious, just having an experience at all. Feeling hungry, feeling scared, feeling warm sun on your back. The second is being self-aware, knowing that the one having the experience is you. A specific individual with a past and a future who will one day stop existing. Almost every animal has the first one. Almost none of them have the second. And figuring out which is which turned into one of the weirdest experiments in science. In 1970, a psychologist named Gordon Gallup came up with a deceptively simple idea: the mirror test. You put a mark, a little dot of dye, somewhere on an animal's body that it can only see in a mirror, like its forehead. Then you show it a mirror. If the animal ignores it, it probably thinks the reflection is just another animal. But if it looks in the mirror and then reaches up to touch the mark on its own body, that's huge. That means it understands that reflection isn't a stranger, that's me. And suddenly you're watching an animal recognize itself. So who passes? A very short, very exclusive list. Chimpanzees, orangutans, bonobos, dolphins, orcas, and Asian elephants, including one famous elephant named Happy who calmly checked out a big white X on her forehead in the mirror. Then it gets weirder. A bird passes too. The Eurasian magpie will try to remove a sticker it can only see in its reflection. And then in 2019, a tiny fish called the cleaner wrassa appeared to pass as well, which caused an absolute meltdown among scientists because nobody wants to admit a fish might have a sense of self. And now the part that hurts a little. Your dog fails the mirror test. So does your cat. Your cat has looked in a mirror, decided the situation is not its problem, and walked away. Most animals on Earth fail it completely. So case closed, right? Dogs are adorable little robots running on instinct. Except, hold on, because a few scientists looked at that conclusion and said, wait, maybe we designed a stupid test. Here's the problem. The mirror test is built entirely around vision. It works great for us because we're obsessed with how we look. But a dog doesn't experience the world through its eyes. A dog experiences the world through its nose. To a dog, a smell is a face. So a researcher named Alexandra Horowitz ran a different version, the sniff test of self-recognition. She took a dog's own urine and sometimes changed it slightly and let the dog smell both. And the dogs spent way more time sniffing the altered version of their own scent. The one that smelled almost but not quite like me. In other words, the dog noticed, hang on, that's my smell, but something's off. That's a dog recognizing itself, just not with its eyes. So your dog might have a self after all. It just doesn't care what its forehead looks like because it already knows it's a good boy. And even for the animals that fail every self-awareness test, there's something we can say with real confidence. They still feel. In 2012, a group of leading neuroscientists signed something called the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness. And the gist of it was this: humans are not the only ones running the lights. Mammals, birds, even octopuses have the brain machinery for conscious experience. When a dog is scared, it is actually feeling fear. When a pig is happy, that happiness is real. They may not be sitting around narrating their life story, but the lights are on. Someone is home. Which leads to the heaviest question of all. If animals can feel, do they understand that one day it ends? Do they know about death? And here it gets genuinely emotional. Elephants will stop at the bones of a dead elephant and touch them gently with their trunks, sometimes returning for years. In 2018, a mother orca named Tahlequah carried the body of her dead calf through the ocean for 17 days. And over 1,000 miles, refusing to let it sink. That is not instinct. That looks a lot like grief. They may not understand death as an idea the way we do. But they clearly understand loss. They understand that someone was here, and now they're gone. There's one more layer, and it's a sneaky one. Do animals know what they know? Can they think about their own thinking? Scientists tested this by giving monkeys, dolphins, and even rats a really hard puzzle, but with an escape option, a way to press pass and skip the question for a smaller reward. And the animals used it. When a test was too hard, they would opt out, as if to say, honestly, I'm not sure on this one. That's astonishing. To skip a question because you know you don't know, you need to be aware of your own mind. That's the door to self-awareness creaking open. Just a crack. But here's the humbling truth underneath all of this. We can never fully know. Back in 1974, a philosopher named Thomas Nagel wrote a famous essay asking a simple question: what is it like to be a bat? And his point was, you can study a bat's brain forever, map every neuron, and you still will never know what the world feels like from the inside of that bat. This is called the problem of other minds. And the unsettling part is, it's not just about animals. You can't actually prove anyone else is conscious. Not your dog, not your best friend, not the person next to you. You just trust it. So where does that leave us? With animals, the honest answer is a spectrum. A jellyfish, almost certainly nobody home. A dog, feelings, memory, maybe a self made of smells instead of sights. A chimp or a dolphin or an elephant. Something close enough to self-awareness that it should genuinely give us pause. Consciousness isn't a light switch that only humans got. It's a dimmer, and life is scattered all along it. Which brings us to the one thing that really does seem to make us different. It's not that we're conscious, they are too. It's not even that we know we exist. A few of them might get there as well. It's that we're the animal that lies awake wondering about it. You are the only creature on this planet asking whether your dog knows it's alive. Your dog is not asking that about you. It's just happy you're home. And maybe that's the quiet, beautiful trait. We got the questions, they got the peace. So no, your dog probably doesn't know that it's alive. Not the way you do. It doesn't know it will die. It isn't up at 3 a.m. wondering what it all means. It just knows that it's warm, that it's safe, and that it loves you. And honestly, some nights that sounds like the better deal. So the next time your dog looks up at you, remember you may never know what it's like to be them. But you get to love them anyway. And somehow, that's enough.